Okay, how to make a mashup. So let's say, for example, I wanted to find the vocal to Superstition by Stevie Wonder. Well, you can just search Stevie Wonder, Superstition, a cappella. And there you go. Oh, let's not do that. First monetizable video. I would go for this instead of this, because it's probably going to be higher fidelity. Other things you can search if that doesn't work. You can search stems, if you spell it right, but thankfully Googly Eyes has corrected it for me. You can search multi-track. You can search MOG, which is a file format used by the games Rock Band and Guitar Hero, I believe. So here's my monetization friendly idea. And for the vocal,
I am a ladybug, doo doo doo. I am a ladybug, doo doo doo.
amazing. Okay, so I've loaded my instrumental and my vocal track into Fruity Loops. I'll drag this onto the playlist. We need to find the tempo of our instrumental, so I use this tap tempo tool. There is one within FL Studio, but I just find this easier to use for some reason. Just tap any key on the keyboard along to the beat. Now if you're using a popular song, you can just search for the BPM on a site like this, but you can always double check with this. Turn the song on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's settled at about 130. So we're going to set our project tempo to match. So before we do anything else, we need to line the instrumental up to the grid. I'm just going to look for an obvious beat in the waveform at the start of a bar. Usually where the drums kick in will be beat 1. Not always, but usually. That kick drum you can see there is beat 1, so we need to put that right at the start of a bar. So we'll trim a bit off. Zoom in. Line that transient up. And then just to check it's locked in, we can turn the metronome on. Turn it down a bit so we can hear the metronome over it. And then sounds good. Okay, so what I need to do is tell Fruity Loops what tempo this vocal is. I do that by right clicking on time, go to auto detect. I don't know why it's called auto detect, because that then gives you all these options, many of which are not auto detect. And this is the one we want. Type in BPM and we know it's 135. Now it's stretched it. But
I am a ladybug,
Do do do. I am a ladybug. Do do do.
we don't want that. We don't want the pitch to change with the tempo. We are going to be changing the pitch of that, but we want to be in control of the pitch change. So all we have to do to fix that is change the mode from resample to stretch. And now
I am a ladybug, doo doo doo. I am a ladybug.
and now pitch stays the same. So we have to work out what key these are in. I'm going to assume you would be using popular songs, in which case all you have to do is Google that shit. So there's inwhatkey.com. Let's say we want to mash up All Star and Wake Me Up by Avicii. Tells you here, All Star, key, F sharp major, Wake Me Up, D major. If we want to bring the vocal of All Star down from F sharp into D major, well, if you have a DAW like Fruity Loops, you can look in the piano roll. F sharp is here. And then we just count down or up to D. 1, 2, 3, 4. We would know now that the vocal has to go down 4 notes. But anyway, it's going to be a different case here, so As these are not popular songs, I'm going to have to figure out the key myself. That's probably a whole other video. You always want to be comparing a major with a major or a minor with a minor. If one song is in a minor and the other is in a major, you need to find the relative major. So I would say these are a pretty good match because they're only 2 notes apart in key signature and they're only 5 BPM apart in tempo, so we're already winning. So we figured out this is in G. It is 2 keys higher than the instrumental. So what we do is take this pitch wheel and bring it down 200 cents. Now they should be in the same key. I'm going to move this over so that it starts where this kicks in. Oh, that's not where it kicks in. So it sounds like the melody works. We've changed it to the right key, but rhythmically it's still a bit off, and that will often be the case. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split each of these phrases, or just a rough approximation of where I think a phrase ends and begins. And we'll just deal with this part for now. So in order to be able to manipulate the timing of these clips individually, I'm going to click here on the little wave, go make unique as sample, part 1, and just repeat for all of them. Now I can see that do should be right at the start of a bar. Like if I were to just sing that to myself and tap along to the beat. I am a ladybug, do do do. The do is at the same time as I'm slapping my chest here. So make sure stretch is enabled here. Check again. I am a ladybug, do, do, do. Bug is maybe a teensy bit early. Oops, I stretched the wrong one. In fact, we'll just get that out of the way by turning stretch off and shrinking it. I am a ladybug. Sounds good. Next line. I start with the bar. I am a ladybug. Again, these are early. Just this one note needs a little shift. I don't have to make a unique sample again out of that and stretch it. I can just slice there and just move it. So really with the timing stuff, if you don't have much musical knowledge, you're just going to have to rely on your intuition and you'll get more of a feel for it as you practice. But generally you can see things tend to line up to the grid in one way or another, so that's maybe a good place to start from. Just shift it so things are on the grid and see if that makes it sound right. Right, so all the timing is pretty much good now, but they don't really blend well together, do they? I am a ladybug. Of course, it depends if there's any effects already present in the acapella you're working with, but that vocal part is very dry. What we can do is assign the vocal part a mixer track. It's on mixer track 1. Now, since we've separated it into all these clips for independent stretching, those are also separate channels in the channel rack. So we're going to have to put all these parts onto that same mixer track so that any effects we add will be applied to all of them. I'm I'm just going to use the sand here to put some reverb on. Reverb 2.
I am a ladybug. I am a ladybug.
This isn't really a music production tutorial, so if you want to know more about mixing and EQ, compression, all that stuff, there are plenty of good tutorials out there. Let's try Large Hall.
I am a ladybug. Do, do, do. I am a ladybug. Do, do, do.
And we're going to do a little bit of equalization.
I am a ladybug.
It's very boomy, isn't it?
I
So we could take some of that boom out.
am a ladybug. Do, do, do. I am a ladybug. Do, do, do. I am a ladybug. I am a ladybug. Do.
And just mess around with things until it matches the track a bit better. So those are the basics. Let me know if you'd like more of this. Let me know if it sucked balls, because it's my first time sitting here alone speaking into a microphone and it's a bit strange, so... And subscribe and all those things you're supposed to say. And I'll see you again, who knows when. Okay.
I am a ladybug. Do, do, do. 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 Ladybugs dancing.